Hunt him up. Good girl. Hunt him up. Let's go. Touch it up. Here. Here. Here, Daisy. Here, Daisy. Daisy, here. Touch it up. Drop it. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Here, Daisy. You see there, we had the bird planted so she was coming crosswind on it. She actually went past the bird a little bit because we've got some swirling winds here behind the trees, but as soon as she got center of that, locked up nice, real staunch with her legs, tail went up good, held point completely until I got that bird up in the air. It started flapping a little bit in the cage before I got it, the cage tipped over, and she just barely moved until it got up in the air. Got on it right away, bird was still flapping around a little bit, got on top of it, good retrieve, lost grip of it there for a second, so right away I got in to fetch it up, and she got a better grip on it, brought it right to me, dropped it with my hand on the command drop it. Daisy has really come a long way. She started out with her training in some 20, 30 below weather. We had her all the way up here from Kansas at one point, so she was used to warmer weather, and so she had some tough conditions to start with, so we brushed her up here a little bit when the weather's a little better, and she's come a long way. Her retrieving is real solid. Like I said the other day, I had a 350, 400 yard retrieve out of her on a winged bird, and she got it all the way back to me. Daisy's not your rangiest dog. If you're looking for a real wide ranging dog, Daisy's probably not your dog. She likes to work close. She likes to work the cover hard. If she gets on a spot, sometimes she'll probably overanalyze it and sniff it a little bit too much. So I get on my whistle and I get her going again. But she's a close working dog. She's going to keep the birds close in. Holds point very well. Sometimes she'll point. She has a very good nose, so sometimes she'll point a bird at 10, 15 yards if you got a strong wind coming into her face. And it seems like when she does that, her tail is down a little farther, but when she snaps on a bird like that at just a few yards, that tail seems to come up a little quicker. So that's a good way to read your dog. If she's not real staunch with that tail up, there's a good chance that bird is a little farther away, but she already has a good whiff of it. So if you say hunt him up and she starts to move in a little bit and then resets, then you know that bird's not right in front of her. If she doesn't move, that bird is real close. Also, with any dog you're going to hunt with and train, you want to remember a lot of consistency. Be consistent with a lot of repetition. If you're going to teach your dog something new, you pick a command and you stick with that command. The commands that we give you are what these dogs know on our command sheet, so stick with those. Try not to change those because that's what they've known for the last 2 to 6 months, depending on how long we've had the dog in the kennel. She's had a lot of field time. We've hunted a lot of grouse. We've had her on a few pheasants here now lately. She's had a lot of pheasants planted for her. I just happened to be out of pheasants today, so we used a pigeon. Getting more and more solid all the time. Also, she is, I would say, 90% housebroke. I've had her in the house a lot last winter, this summer and fall. She's got a blanket that she lays on. I tell her to go lay down. She'll lay on it all day. I've had her spend the night in the house. No accidents as of yet. She lays on her blanket in the corner of the bedroom and lays there until I get up in the morning. I've never left her in the house by herself, but I would say other than that, as long as she is somewhat supervised, I would say she's 90 to 100% housebroken. So she'd be a good family dog and a good hunter, and anybody who gets her, actually, she can smell where that bird was, and she's pointing on it again right now. Right now she's probably 5 to 10 yards away from it instead of 2 or 3 before. Notice that her tail isn't up as high and her nose isn't quite as staunch down on the bird. Daisy, here! As far as her shock collar, we have a 127 settings. I can usually control her with the shock collar between 25 and 35. There, she's got a nice leg up, pointing where that bird was again. Tail's just starting to come up now. Good girl. Good girl. So whoever gets Daisy here is really going to enjoy her. She's a real lovable dog, likes attention, listens really, really well, very trainable. I think the best things are to come from Daisy. We haven't seen it yet. So from everybody here at Wild Spur Kennels, happy hunting.